All right, so hello everyone. This is a demo session, training session on LibKey, and it will be presented by Maria Zimmer, who's the representative from the Third Iron. They're the ones who provide this service for us. So I'll pass it on to Maria.
All right, Kirill, thank you so much. Thanks for setting this up. And if you are not already familiar with or using LibKey Nomad, then I think you're going to be very excited. I hope so. And if you do one thing today, so this will be a short session, no more than 30 minutes, maybe even shorter. But LibKey Nomad is a plugin for your browser, and it works with all of the major browsers. It works with Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Microsoft Edge. So hopefully, if you're using one of those browsers, then you will be able to take advantage of this plugin. And what LibKey Nomad does is make it very easy for you to connect to the full text of articles when you are out doing research on the open web. So if all of you only do one thing as a result of this meeting today, this is the one thing that I want you to do. And after this, if you're bored, you can sign off and you can go do something else and have a late lunch. But please go to libkeynomad.com, and I will put the URL into the chat panel for you. But if you just go to libkeynomad.com, then you will find the download page for the LibKey Nomad browser plugin. So let me pop that into the chat panel here. All right, so if you click on that, you should see the same page that I'm looking at right now. And when you get here, there's a big orange button in the middle that says Get LibKey Nomad Now. And this is where you can install the plugin. So clicking on that will drop you down to the bottom of the page where you can see all of the browsers that are currently supported. I am using Chrome, so I'm going to walk through the installation process for Google Chrome, but hopefully it should be very straightforward for you. Simply click on your browser that you're currently using. And once you've selected your browser, you'll be linked out to the extension store or to the web store for that particular browser. So for Chrome, I'm brought into the Chrome web store where I am offered the option to add LibKey Nomad. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to Chrome. It just takes a few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and add the extension. You don't have to create a personal account. There's no sign-in required. You don't have to give LibKey Nomad your email address or create an account or anything like that. The LibKey Nomad browser plugin is only going to ask you for one piece of information, and that is to select your organization. So from the drop-down menu, you can search for MBLWHOI, and when you've located MBLWHOI library in the list, simply select it, and that's it. That's the only piece of information that LibKey Nomad needs in order to work. So all of the research that you're doing is completely anonymous. We're not tracking any information about who you are or what you are looking at. We just need to know which library you are affiliated with so that we can connect you to the full text that your library subscribes to so that we can get you out to that good journal content. So once you've chosen your library, you'll see that your library selection has been saved. And now we're going to be looking for this navy blue download PDF button on the websites that we visit. And there are a few different places where you'll see LibKey Nomad in action. And I'm going to show you my favorite one first. So since you are the Marine Biological Laboratory, there is an integration with PubMed that is just beautiful. So from pubmed.gov, and let me refresh the page, because now that I've got the plugin installed, I am expecting LibKey, yes, to bring some magic into PubMed. So you'll see there's a little notification in the lower left-hand corner that LibKey Nomad is being provided by the MBLWHOI library. And now if I run a search in PubMed, and I really need to get some better sample searches. This is, I always think there are not a lot of upbeat searches that you can run in PubMed, just given the nature of the database. It's not a lot of cheerful content. But as soon as we run that search, you can see, and if you use PubMed, then this is a very different PubMed. So what the LibKey Nomad browser plugin is doing here is interacting with the results in the PubMed interface in order to provide us with information about full text available from your library. So LibKey is adding cover images for the journal, so it makes the PubMed platform much more visually interesting. And then it will add links to access the full text. So you can see here some different buttons. Download PDF means exactly what it says. If I click on this download PDF button, then in a new window, LibKey Nomad is going to locate that full text PDF and immediately link me through to the full text of the article. It is very fast. It is very easy. And again, if you are a heavy user of PubMed, you probably know that there's no way to have full text links directly on the results page. Normally, you have to click on each individual article title to go into the full record view and then see if there are any full text options available. So this is a really fast way to get to full text. And not only that, we will signpost availability. So when LibKey Nomad presents a button that says download PDF, we have already checked to see if the article is available from your library and to figure out how to get there. So you'll see some different buttons. So in some cases, you might see a button that says article link. So in that case, we may not be able to go straight to the PDF, but we can still link you to the article where it is available from your library, maybe on the publisher's website or in an article database, but we'll still get you there. And then another option that you might see is something that says access options. So what that means is that LibKey identified this article, but we didn't see any immediate full text available for your library. So if you click on access options, then we will link into your library's catalog, where maybe you have access to the article in a print journal, if the library has any print subscriptions, or you can request it through interlibrary loan if it's not immediately available. So that's what access options means. So all of this is being done right on the results page in PubMed. And then the last link that you'll see here, where it says view complete issue, this is a link that will allow you to see this particular article. So let's say we're really interested in this one about this fungal infection before and after a liver transplantation. So this was from the journal, the World Journal of Gastroenterology, it looks like, from December 2020. So if we click on view complete issue, this will take us into that specific issue from December of 2020 so that we can see the article as it was originally published within the table of contents. And so this is really interesting because we can use it as a way to expand our discovery to find other relevant articles. Because of course, as I'm sure you know, journals publish thematically, and sometimes they might have a special issue where all of the articles in that issue are on a particular topic. So we see our article of interest highlighted for us here, but then we can browse around and maybe we see another article here that's also interesting to us. And from here, of course, you can navigate to more current issues of the journal. This brought us directly to the 2020 issue, but maybe we want to take a look at, what's the latest coming out of this particular journal. So this, again, becomes a really nice way to expand your research and discovery and find other relevant articles related to the article that originally caught your interest. So all of this is happening within the PubMed interface because of the LibKey Nomad browser plugin. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is actually pin the plugin to my toolbar. So in Chrome, you can click on the puzzle piece if it's not already displaying, but now I can see the little green flame icon letting me know that LibKey Nomad is active in my browser. So that's what LibKey Nomad looks like in PubMed. I want to show you a few other places. So unfortunately, LibKey Nomad is not able to add direct links to content in Google Scholar. And this is, believe it or not, this is something that we talked to Google Scholar about. But Google is very, very territorial about their screen real estate, and they will not allow any plugins to operate on the page. So if you ever see a plugin working in Google Scholar, they're doing it without Google's permission. And if Google finds out about it, they will shut down the plugin, which is what they offered to do with ours. So we don't interact with the page in Google. But if you like to use Google Scholar and you find an article that interests you, simply navigate out to the publisher website. And from there, so let's click on this article, on this Nature article, for example. If you find an article via Google Scholar and you click to go to the publisher page, at this point, if you are not connected to the library's resources, or if you are off-site, you may be prompted to buy this article or subscribe to it. Meanwhile, LibKey Nomad is going to do that check to see if the full text is available. And in this case, a notification appears in the lower left-hand corner that we can download the PDF from the MBLWHOI library. So clicking on download PDF, same thing. Nomad locates the full text. And if you are not already connected to the proxy server, you may be signed in. The library was very kind to provide me with test credentials so that I'm able to access these resources for the purposes of the demonstration today. But as you can see, very easy to link through to the full text. So LibKey Nomad activates on hundreds of publisher pages in order to check for that full text access. And it will present you with the same kinds of buttons. So here's an example. If we take a look at this third article in Google Scholar, where once again, LibKey Nomad is going to check the information on the page to see if it can find any full text available from the library. And in this instance, it did not find any immediate PDF. But again, we'll see access options. So you'll see the same kinds of labels available. So just as a reminder, access options will take you into the library catalog where you can request the item via interlibrary loan if it's not immediately available. So that's where you'll see that ILL request option. And then there's one other button that we haven't seen yet. And if we click on this result from Nature Reviews Immunology, when LibKey checks to see if there's any full text available, if it doesn't find anything that's available in the library's subscriptions, LibKey will also check to see if maybe there's a manuscript available. So in this case, what happened is LibKey didn't find this in the library's holdings, but it found an open access version, maybe in a repository somewhere. And so it's presenting us with a link to access the manuscript PDF. Now, if you're using manuscripts, one thing that you might want to be careful about is just keeping in mind that this is not the final published version of record. And so you probably know that, throughout the peer review process and throughout the publishing process, a manuscript can go through a number of changes. But of course, this can be a really great way to get an idea of what an article is about. And if it is something that you're interested in using in your research, then you could go to the effort of requesting the final version from the library. But this is a really good way to start to get some of the background information about an article, to read the submitted manuscript. So if that comes up, you'll see it very clearly labeled manuscript PDF. So you've seen some of the different buttons that LibKey will present on publisher websites, what it will do in PubMed. The other place where you will see LibKey Nomad activate, and I make no judgment about the nature of your research, but if you also like Wikipedia, then LibKey Nomad will activate in Wikipedia as well. So the way this works, let's do photovoltaics. So if you're looking at a Wikipedia article, LibKey Nomad will integrate with the references down at the bottom of the page. So you can click on the LibKey Nomad button to get dropped down to the bottom of the page. And actually, you can see this is LibKey Nomad in real time. This is how fast it is. It's checking the DOIs on the page, it's looking for PubMed IDs, and as it is finding content, it is adding the links to download the PDF, link out to the article, access options, manuscript PDFs. All of that is being integrated directly into the results right here on the page. So this can be another good way to really easily connect to the library's content when you're out looking for research on the open web. So again, if you did not heed my advice to please install LibKey Nomad at the beginning of the session, then I'm going to go ahead and put the URL into the chat panel for you again here. But I definitely recommend installing this. And again, that URL is in the chat if you need it. There is also a short user video available on this page. So if you need a refresher about how LibKey works, I mean, hopefully you'll agree it's very, very user-friendly. It's very straightforward. But there's a very brief tutorial video available here with some reminders about some of the different links that are available. But it's very easy to use, and it will make it very fast and easy to get to library content when you're out on the open web. So I know that I packed a lot into a very short amount of time, but I did promise you that this would be a short session. So please let me know, does anyone have any questions?